besties, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, hello, my name is Emily. I love to chat about the library plants and other things that I'm doing, and if you are returning, welcome back. Today I have a really fun video. It has been a while since I've met you guys on the floor here, and the last time was whenever I was setting up this beast of a TBR cart. And if you remember, I had to post it in two separate parts because the first part I had it all set up and then it completely fell apart. So then I had to buy a new one, like do research, buy a new one, and set it up again. So it was a fiasco. I have been loving the TBR cart, but this year I have decided to just not really like track the unread books on my bookshelf as far as like how many I have, because the point of my TBR cart when I got it then was to read all of the unread books on my bookshelf, so I had no unread books on my bookshelf. I have since freed myself from those shackles, and I now no longer care how many books I have unread on my bookshelf because I think it's fine to have unread books on your bookshelf. So reading has become way less stressful since I have like adopted that mindset. Anyways, I now have a ton of library books that I need to put on the shelf. And typically I put them up here. And I have a couple library books already up here, but I also have two plants that are like taking up a majority of the space. So I need to just kind of like reorganize this cart, and I figured this would be a good time to also go through the unread books on my TBR cart, my old TBR cart, to see if I want to unhaul any of them. On my white shelf over here is where I've been adding, you know, like books that I have obtained, acquired, been gifted, bought, whatever, that I haven't read yet. So I do have more unread books on my bookshelf, but I don't want to get rid of any of those because they're new. And these ones I've had for like a while. So I'm going to go through these, and I thought it'd be fun to take you along with me. I don't know what I'm going to call this video yet. I've seen like keep it or dump it, book unhaul, like, I don't know, because I just gotta think of a good title. I gotta think of a good like name for this video. So I guess if you've clicked on this video, you'll already know what the title is. But for now, I'm just going through my unread books. And I am sitting right in front of my heater, and it actually like just kicked on right before I hit record. So I have my, what the hell is this called? My microphone. Hopefully it picks up my voice and not the heater, but if you hear a lot of background noise, I can only do so much. It's cold here. It's cold, and I need the heat on. And I have a little baby chihuahua, well, half chihuahua dog, puppy, Daisy, and she also needs the heat on. Actually, my big dog, Tina, also needs the heat on. She loves to lay in front of the heater. Anyways, let's get into some books. So I have quite a few library books. Like I said, I have two Becky Chambers books that I'm very excited to get to. I'm reading these for the Trans Rights Readathon. I also got two other books to read during the Trans Rights Readathon. Very excited for both of these. I have Winter's Orbit and Ocean's Echo. Both of these I'm also very excited to get to. One of Winter's Orbit I will be reading for one of my book clubs, so I did pick up the second book at the library just in case I want to read that right afterwards. And I have Our Share of Night, which I heard great things about. It's like a horror book, and also Muddle Home, both of which are horror, and I'm very excited to get to both of them. The last two library books that I have, I got Speaking of Summer, which this was actually on one of my librarian curated shelves. So I wanted to try this out for Women's History Month, and then I also have Camp Zero. Both of these I've heard great things about. I'm halfway through Camp Zero. I think I want to switch to the audiobook, but I don't want to return this book until I get the audiobook. And I also don't need to like return it because it's not due back at the library yet, so I'm just going to keep it for now. Then the other two books that I had up here that I was kind of using to also store my March TBR, The Black Veins, which I was going to read for the Trans Rights Readathon, and also Devil of the Deep. I got this book early from a bookshop.org. It delivered. This actually doesn't release until April 7th, and I am filming this during the first weekend of the Trans Rights Readathon. I can't remember what day it is today, but it came very early, so that's pretty cool. And this is Daisy. We're gonna see if we want to keep her. I think we'll keep her. Oh my little baby girl. She'll probably be in this video a lot. She's like attached at my hip. She's my little baby girl. Okay, and then I have my Kindle, which I haven't used in months, but you know, it's up there. And then two plants, which I kind of also need to figure out where I'm gonna put these if I don't want to keep them. I think I want to keep this one, the one in the front, because it's in a planter that doesn't have a hole at the bottom, so it's kind of like perfect to put you know, where all my books are. And then this one is one that I actually was watering this morning. I'm trying to grow a monstera on just a moss pole. It's not going very well. You can see the leaves are yellowing, but I'm not giving up hope. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know where I want to put this, but it's in a glass jar, so I don't really want to put it somewhere where it will break. And that was kind of perfect, so that's a problem for future Emily. Okay, gonna be so honest, the last time I put this together, I haven't really made a dent in it since then. I've definitely read some books, but I haven't made a huge dent in it. So it's kind of the same books. But now I just have to decide if I want to keep them or not. Angie Kills a King. I definitely want to keep this book. I know that this is a debut book and also a standalone fantasy, and I've heard great things about it. So this is definitely going to be one that I'm keeping. And also, I just love the cover. The cover is very cool. Gods of Jade and Shadow by Silvia Moreno Garcia. Also, stunning cover. This is also another one that I know I'm going to want to keep. I really love everything that this author writes, and there's no reason why I haven't gotten to this book yet. I just haven't. But it will stay on my bookshelf. I also have The Good Vampire's Guide to Blood and Boyfriends. This is an ARC. I was gifted this book by actually somebody in my in-person book club, Bessie's book club. She was like, hey, I got 2 ARCs of these. Do you want one? And I was like, sure, thanks. Haven't read it. I haven't really found myself wanting to pick it up. So my plan for all of these books is to take them to a local bookstore, Blythe Books, in the Pittsburgh area. She's a secondhand bookstore and you can bring your books and she'll buy them from you. And I have a pretty decent store credit because I do take a lot of my books that I no longer want to her shop. So that's what I'll be doing with a majority of these books. This one, however, is an ARC. So I don't think I can take that to her. So this one I'll probably just put in a little free library in my area. And it will be better used, better loved by somebody else. And I think I'm actually going to keep the bookmark that's in. Oh, I'm going to keep this bookmark. This is one of my favorite bookmarks. It's a ghost reading on a swing. I will be keeping this. This will not be staying in the book. So actually I'm going to put this in the keep pile, and the book itself. Sell pile. Sell pile, get rid of pile, get lost pile. I don't know. I also have Checkmate by Ali Hazelwood. I have not read this book yet. I've definitely heard some mixed review things. I got this because I just have every book by Ali Hazelwood, but well, I had every book that she came out with up through Checkmate. I have not read the Bride series or the Problematic Summer book. I haven't read that one yet, and I probably won't buy those until I know I like them, because Ali Hazelwood can be a little bit of a hit or miss for me. So this one is a YA romance book. I don't think I want to read it. I don't think I'm ever going to read it. So it will be well loved by somebody else. Somebody else can have it. So it's going in the sell pile. The next 2 books I have on my cart, I can't believe I haven't read them yet. It's the debut series by Hannah Whitten, The Wilderwood, For the Wolf, and For the Throne. I just need to read these books, but for some reason I never find myself going to pick them up. I loved her trilogy. What is the trilogy? I'm blanking on the name. I have it up there. The Foxglove King. No. The Hemlock Queen trilogy. That's the second book. I think the series is named after the second book. Whatever. That series. Loved that series. I know I'm going to love this. And she also has another book coming out later this year, Requiem, which is a little bit more of a gothic horror book. I can't wait for that book. So I think I am going to try to read these 2 before that book releases, just to say I have read all of her books. There's you don't need to read this series before then. I just want to. So this is definitely going to be staying with me. The next book I have is Trial of the Sun Queen, and again, this is another book that I have no reason to have not read. I actually got this book from my friend Sarah. I went to visit her for a book fest and I shopped her shelves. It was very fun, and this was one of the books that I picked up whenever I was shopping her shelves. So I'm definitely going to keep this one. I want to read it. This is the first in a series. I've heard great things about it. It's romantasy, and I don't pick up romantasy very often, but it's nice to have that option on my bookshelf for whenever the mood strikes and I do want to pick it up. Last Night at the Telegraph Club. This one I've had on my bookshelf for years. I've never really found myself picking it up. I think it's more of a historical fiction book. I always hear great things about it, but realistically, I think, how long is this book? This book is over 400 pages, and for some reason, a historical fiction book that is that long, that's a little bit too long for me because I don't really read historical fiction that much. So I think I'm going to let this book go and let somebody else cherish it and keep it and love it. This book I am absolutely keeping, And the Sky Bled. I got this from the Columbus Book Fest. I saw Zoran at the Columbus Book Fest and she had a copy of this and also Crueler Mercies. I can't remember. I think it's Crueler Mercies. But it's the books that she's been publishing under her imprint with Bindery Books, Fantasy and Friends. So I'm definitely going to be keeping this. I am really going to try to get to this book this year. I love the cover. I think it's stunning and gorgeous. And because it was gifted to me, I am definitely going to be keeping it. And also because I want to read it. So, keep pile. Some of these have dog hair on them. This is actually another book that I know I will be keeping, Darkwater Daughter. This is the first book in a trilogy, and the series has actually it's a completed series. And I have the ebooks downloaded onto my Kindle, and I have my Kindle on airplane mode, so I can just read them whenever. I was really wanting to get to this last year, and I didn't. But I'm gonna have to get to it soon. Well, not soon, but like the ebooks, I have the ebooks downloaded. Whenever I turn my Kindle off airplane mode because I got them from the library, they're gonna go. So I'm gonna read this and then also read those two on there. It's just, when am I feeling it, you know? I think that this is like a pirate type of trilogy, which is very interesting to me, and I've heard great things. I actually got this recommendation from MF Skies. She like raves about this book, and her and I have very similar book tastes. I'm gonna try really hard to get to it this year. And the last book that I have on the first row, these, you can tell they've been sitting here for a while because they have a lot of dog hair. My dog shed like crazy. This is the last book in this series by V.E. Schwab. I haven't read this book yet, but I did read book 1 and 2. I loved that series. It's very interesting. It's like set in London, but there are 4 different Londons, and they're, I guess, categorized by colors, but there's like different, they're like multi-dimensional. It's so interesting. It's so unique. I've loved this book. I love everything that V.E. Schwab writes. The size of this book is daunting to me, and also the font was a little bit small. So I actually just got new glasses because I was having trouble with my eyesight. And so I think now that I've gotten that figured out, I will be able to read this book. But I got this book, or I got the entire series before I even read it. No, I got the entire series after I read book 1 because they were coming out with the new covers and I wanted the old covers. The old covers are very, very, very pretty. So this is definitely going to be a book that I'm keeping. If you haven't read the series yet, highly recommend. Okay, so that was all for the first row on the top shelf. I think I'm actually going to go down here, and then afterwards I can just spin it around. Another book that I got from my friend Sarah, Catabasis by R.F. Kuang. I haven't read this one yet. She didn't super love it, so she actually gave me her ARC, and I was supposed to read this for our August book club, and I didn't read it. I don't know why I didn't read it. I think I'm going to wait a little bit before I read this because I think I've just seen too much online about this book that I don't want that to either hinder my enjoyment or sway me one way or another. I want my feelings to be my own whenever I read this book because I do genuinely love everything that R.F. Kuang writes. So I will be keeping this book, but I know I'm not going to get to it anytime soon, and that's totally fine. Putting it in the keep pile. Next, I got dog hair. Next, I have The Gods Below by Andrea Stewart. I got this book whenever I was at the Columbus Book Fest because I saw her there in conversation with, I don't know, one of the panels, and I was checking to see if I got it signed because I couldn't remember, but now that it's not signed, I was waiting in the line to get her book to get this book signed by her. It was such a long line. I couldn't do it because I was also starving. It was the end of the day and I was I actually just need to leave. So I'm sure I'll see her again sometime in the future. But I read her other series, the Bone Shard Daughter series, and I didn't super love it after book 2. The book 2 kind of went downhill for me, and it's so possible it could have just been book 2 syndrome. I DNF'd it, but the first book, loved it so much. This one is a little bit different because it does have, I think it has dragons or it has serpents or something. This one seems a little bit more up my alley than the other series did. So yeah, I got it with the intention of getting it signed from her. I didn't get it signed. It's on my bookshelf. I'm still going to keep it. I'm going to get to it eventually because I love a high fantasy, but I don't think this series is complete yet. So I'll probably wait until the series is complete before I pick it up because I just like to binge a series, you know? Okay, next is The Thursday Murder Club, which I actually know I'm gonna get rid of this book. It has, sorry Blythe, it has a little tear in it, but I got this book because we were gonna read it for one of my book clubs. The book club has since disbanded, or it was some of my friends who I started a book club with that have since turned into Bessie's book club. So I guess technically it was Bessie's book club, but before it went public, I don't know. We were supposed to read this book. I just didn't read it. And honestly, I don't really find myself picking up thriller like this too much. I like a horror thriller book more than just like straight thriller. So I think somebody else would enjoy this book way more than I would. I don't think I'm going to pick it up anytime soon. So I'm going to put this in the donate pile. A bookshelf that I am actually really surprised and a little bit embarrassed to have not read yet is Malice by John Gwynne. I know, I'm so sorry. As someone who says I love high fantasy, how have I not read this series yet? And I have no good reason as to why I haven't read it yet. So this is definitely staying on my bookshelf. I don't know when I'll get to it, but this book is just so chunky, and typically, like, I'm not afraid of a chunky book, you know, but like every single book in this series is massive and it feels like a huge undertaking. And especially in my reading lifestyle right now, like I am not reading very much. I'm not reading very quickly. So I think that I honestly could see a huge 700-page book like this taking me a whole month to finish. And I don't think mentally I'm like ready for that to happen. So it might be one that I finish later this year or next year or the year after that. I have no idea, but nonetheless, it will be staying on my bookshelf. Okay, I also got both of these books whenever I visited Sarah, so I will be keeping these, and I do want to read them because they both look very interesting. Yes, baby girl. Quick intermission as I'm editing this video to say I'm so sorry. So I had to like stop this video to go and get my dog Daisy because she was barking because the mailman was coming and we're doing counter conditioning, hoping that they eventually love the mailman. So I had to like jump up very quickly. And when I came back, my camera was like overheated because I also had it plugged in and charging. So I had to wait for that to deheat, to cool down a little bit, not deheat. And when I was like ready to continue on with this video, I plugged my microphone back in and the quality is now terrible. The sound quality, I'm like clipped so bad. Like I don't know what the fuck happened to my microphone. So it doesn't sound the best, but it's a lot of content and I can't refilm it because I've already dropped off the books. So sorry. Feel free to call it here if you don't want to listen to it. This is just your warning. Okay, love you. Okay, so I also got both of these books while I was visiting Sarah, Margaret Owen's trilogy. I'm actually not sure which book comes first, but The Merciful Crow and The Faithless Hawk. Both of these, the covers look so stunning. I definitely want to get to them. I don't know when, but they will be staying on my bookshelf. And these books actually are very interesting because the covers are kind of glossy, but then the backs and like the spines and generally like the rest of the book is that typical paperback feel. So I just never had a paperback that is like that, you know? So both of these will be staying on my bookshelf. And the last series way down here at the bottom has lots of dog hair on it because it has been sitting here for quite some time. But it is the Scythe series by Neil Shusterman. I believe that's how you pronounce it, but I haven't read this series yet. This is one that has been sitting on my bookshelf for years. I am not ready to get rid of it yet because eventually I do want to get into it. And I'm just very much in my sci-fi dystopian era right now. So this might be something that I pick up very soon. Heard great things. This is a YA trilogy. And what is this seal on the front? It's just an award of excellence. So apparently a lot of people love this book. I've heard great things. It'll be staying on my bookshelf. That's all there is to it. Okay, let me see if I can turn this around in a way that's not going to destroy my plants. Actually, let me just turn my plant around. Yeah, that is way smarter, Emily. Okay, can you see my books? Starting at the top, I have King of Sloth by Anna Huang, and this is the 4th book in the Kings of Sin series. I just really love Anna Huang. Like, I've read her other series, the 4 books, like Twisted Love, Twisted Hate, whatever. Those were really big whenever I first joined BookTok. And this is her latest series that she's, has been releasing. This is like, I don't think it's specifically like a mafia romance, but all of the men are like very rich. So I think all of the men are very rich. Don't quote me on that because I've only read 3 books in it. And I think there's like 6 books out from this. There's no reason why I haven't read this yet. It's just Anna Huang has a very specific type of like romance writing style, and I haven't been in the mood for it. So I haven't picked it up. And it's very, very few and far between that I like want to read romance anyways, but when the mood strikes, I will have this on my bookshelf because I am keeping this. And this shirtless man has just been staring at you while I've been talking, but I actually went to an author event at Woolly Bear Bookstore. Lainey Davis is a local author here in Pittsburgh, and she actually has 2 interconnected series, which is very interesting to me. So the first series is, about like a typical interconnected standalone or interconnected series with standalone books that you would like kind of expect, but it follows these siblings and their love interest, how it usually does, But then this series, I don't know what the overarching series is, but the interconnected series to her original one is with all of their children. And I think that's very interesting. And actually, as part of her author talk, she was like, yeah, it was very weird, like, because, there's always, like, some conflict that the main character has, but, like, all of these children have very emotionally or well-adjusted, emotionally mature parents because she wrote them. So she was, like, explaining kind of how, like, there was a challenge between finding, like, a new something to be wrong with a man, because most times it is because they're emotionally immature. So anyways, that's all to say, while I was like at her author talk, I got both of these books, Playing for Keeps and Playing for Payback. And she had a few of these like, I guess older covers that she was giving away, and I won one. So I have a shirtless white man on my shelf. I actually might get rid of this one. So sorry. I think I'm going to send this one to Blythe because I think somebody else would like this. I don't really love shirtless men on my bookshelf. So that will be in the donate pile. But these 2 books, they're hockey romance. I love a hockey romance. So I will be keeping both of these. And a huge plus is that she is an indie author and a local author to me in Pittsburgh. Okay, this next book, I can't believe I haven't read yet because I love B.K. Borison, but Business Casual. Honestly, I just don't want this series to end, so I haven't read it yet. But the cover, love it. The really interesting thing about this, I know I just said like 2 minutes ago that I don't read a lot of romance, and a lot of these like are romance books, but this was like my romance section. So that makes sense, right? That makes sense. The really cool thing about this series by B.K. Borison, I read Love Light Farms whenever it was still an indie book, and that was one of my favorite, it's still one of my favorite Christmas books ever. But each person or each book that, each character that the book follows is like a part of like a friend group, but the book's overall theme is each season of the year. Sorry that took me so long to spit out, but this will be staying on my bookshelf. The next 2 books that I have, and the last 2 books that I have on my romance section, are 2 by Emily Shacklett, When We Were Younger and You All Over Me. This is one of my favorite romance authors, especially indie authors, because I read the first book. What was it? It's pink, and it's behind one of my plants. I think it's pink, and it's behind one of my plants, so I can't see it. Is it pink? It's not up there. Yes, it is. Georgia on My Mind, or something similar to that. I'm so sorry if I fucked that up. But I really love that series. I really loved that book. It is a little bit longer of a romance book, more like 400 pages. But overall, like the man, it was like a man that I want to read. It was genuinely a man written by a woman, but also they both like helped each other overcome complications, or not complications, but like, hardships in their life in a very mature manner. And I loved that. One of my favorite romance books ever. So I did order both of these from her Etsy. Haven't gotten to them yet, obviously, because they're on this bookshelf, or they're on this cart, but they will be staying on my bookshelf because I definitely do want to read them. I don't know when, but they will be staying on my bookshelf until I read them. I feel like I'm just keeping every book that's on here. Like, I feel like I'm kind of being really bad about, not really bad, but like, I'm kind of not unhauling any. Anyways, A Memory Called Empire. I actually got this signed when I was at the Columbus Book Fest by Arcady Martine. I can't wait to read this book. This is a sci-fi duology, and actually one of my mutuals, Alyssa, loves this book. I can't remember if she is currently reading the second book or is like, I need to read it, or I can't remember where she's at with the second book, but I know that this is one of her favorite books, so I'll take any recommendation that Alyssa has. I can't wait to read this book. I have book 2 on my Kindle that's on airplane mode, so I will be getting to this soon. And again, I am just so big into my sci-fi era that this probably will be very soon. So it's staying in the keep pile. I'm gonna go a little bit out of order because I actually got this book, If We Were Villains, and Dragon Fruit, both from one of Blythe's Instagram story sales. And that's the bookstore that I'm going to be taking all these books to, but she does this really cool thing every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. She has an Instagram story sale where these books are kind of discounted and you have a week to pick them up in the store. So I did get both of these books during one of her sales, If We Were Villains and Dragon Fruit. Now, I have read another book by ML Rio. I can't remember what it is, but it has rats. There's rats in it. That's very specific and also so integral to the story, but I can't remember what it's called. Anyways, loved it. I think the first book that I read, or the other book that I read by this author, is definitely more of a horror thriller book. Oh my God, my voice just cracked. Sorry about that. Definitely more of a horror thriller book, and that's the kind that I like. So I will be keeping this. I will read this eventually. I think I'm gonna give myself until the end of the year, and if not, I might just give it back to her. But yeah, this is staying on my bookshelf. And same with Dragon Fruit, because this is one that I have heard great things about. I do believe the author is AA NHPI, so I know April is that Heritage Month, so I think I'm going to pick this up then. No, I am going to, not I think, I am going to pick that up next month in April because I do really want to read this. Honestly, not very long. And my one mutual, Shan, loves this book, so this is one that, you know, I'm really excited to get to. It has humongous font, so me and my terrible eyesight will have absolutely no problem reading this book. That being said, it's staying on my bookshelf. Okay, and then the last book that's on the top here, Fireborn. The cover, it looks so good. Realistically, I don't think I'm going to get to this book anytime soon. It is a dragon fantasy, and I have nothing against dragon fantasies. Love a dragon fantasy, but it's just been on my bookshelf for way too long to have not picked it up yet. So I think I'm gonna bite the bullet and just give this to Blythe, give this away, donate this, because I think somebody else could use it way faster than I would read it way faster than I would, sooner than I would. Sorry, my brain is not working. TLDR is going in the donate pile. And then coming down here, I think I will be getting rid of a majority of the books down here because this, there's quite a few that I know I'm not going to be reading. Oh, cart, stay there. First book, you can tell these have dust and dog hair. So before I donate these books, I will be cleaning them. So don't think I'm donating them with filled with dog hair. I will be cleaning them, okay? But this series, I definitely fell in the hype during the book talk. I don't know, 2020 book talk. And I've had these on my bookshelf since then, Dance of Thieves, Vow of Thieves. And I actually got this series and then realized that there's another series that is kind of important to read before this. So I got all 3 books of those from Half Price Books. I actually really enjoyed that series. They're still up on, I think they're still on my bookshelf. They are on my bookshelf. I have read those already. Like I said, liked them. And then I was going to pick up these and I was like, you know what? I kind of want to read something else. And then I haven't, it's been 2 years and I haven't picked these up since. So realistically, I don't think I'm going to read these anytime soon. I don't think I'm going to read them actually at all because it is YA fantasy and that's just not really my vibe anymore. So totally fine. I will be getting rid of both of these and putting them in the donate pile. And I think I'm actually going to donate the prequel series. I don't know if it's considered a prequel series, but the series before this that is important for this series, along with these, so that way someone can have all 5 books. And those books are The Kiss of Deception, The Heart of Betrayal, and The Beauty of Darkness. So those all will be donated. Somebody else, somebody YA might love them. Next book I have down here is The Four Seasons Crown, and this is actually one that the author sent to me. I don't know if I'm going to pick this up anytime soon, but it did come with some artwork that I actually really love, and it's also signed. And this is definitely an enemies to lover, but the artwork is very cool, and it has a little personalized note, which is so sweet. And then here's another little artwork. So I will be keeping this book, especially because it has been personalized. I just don't know if I'm going to get to it anytime soon. And I think that's fine. I might get to it eventually. I don't know if this is a series or if it's a completed series. Genuinely don't know anything about this series. I just know it was sent to me by the author. So it will be staying on my bookshelf until a later date. Next two books have been here a while, and I already know I'm going to be donating them. Shadow of Bone. I just haven't found myself wanting to pick this up. I kind of hate that it has a Netflix sticker on it. Like, I don't know. This was, again, one of those books that I got, I don't know, I actually can't remember when I got it. Obviously, it was after the Netflix series came out, but it's one I've been hearing and wanting to read about since like 2020 BookTok exploded. But it's just not really my vibe anymore. I don't think I'm going to read it. So this is going to be in the donate pile, and someone else can love it probably way more than I will. And then the other book that I know I'm going to donate is This Wicked Curse. And I believe this was a book that I received as part of like a giveaway winner. I got like 13 indie published fantasy books for winning. Like it was like something I entered in Instagram. I can't remember, but that was like 2 years ago, I think. This has been sitting on my bookshelf since then. So I don't think I will be reading this. Somebody else might love this way more than I do, or somebody might like this way more than I would, because I haven't read it yet. But this is going to be going in the donate pile. I have 6 more books to go through, but I'm kind of exhausted. I should have grabbed like a matcha to drink while I was doing this. And if my husband was here, I would ask him if he could make me one. But he's not, so I can't. Anyways, the next 2 books that I have are definitely ones that I will be keeping. This is books 2 and 3 from the Evie Dunmore series that I can't remember what the series overall is called, but they're historical romance. And I actually loved the first book. I was surprised that I liked it so much, but I took it to the beach to read like 2 years ago. Loved it, devoured it. It was so good. And so I definitely want to pick up book 2 and 3. And I do believe book 4 is already released. I think it's just a 4-book series. Actually, is one of these book 4? No, I think this is book 2 and 3. I can't remember. Anyways, I have 3 out of the 4 books on my bookshelf. Read book 1, loved it. I will be keeping both of these books to read whenever the historical romance mood strikes. Maybe next time I'm at the beach, which I don't know when that will be, but it will be on my bookshelf waiting for me for when I am. I also have the last book in this series by Christina Forrest. I read the first book, loved it. Second book I haven't read yet, but this was another book that Sarah gave to me whenever I did her Shop My Shelves and visited her. So I definitely will be keeping this. I would like to read book 2 before I read this one. I don't have it on my bookshelf yet, but I'm like not really in a rush to read these books because I really love Christina Forrest. Her romance books are not, no, this one is only 375 pages. I do believe book 1, The Neighbor Favor, was like over 400 pages. And with romance, because I'm not really a romance girly, I know my limit in a romance book, and over 400 pages is usually not it. But that one I made an exception for because I heard such good things, and I'm so glad that I did. So I haven't read book 2 yet, but now book 3. This one is about a singer, like a rock star romance. I usually also don't pick those up, but no, sorry, a pop R&B singer. The quote on the back, like a sexy 90s R&B song, intense, heartfelt, and deeply moving. So this will be staying on my bookshelf. Okay, the next 3 books, I know for a fact I will be getting rid of all of them. The ones on the bottom, the books on the bottom here are so, I don't know if dusty is the right word, but it definitely has a lot of dog hair on it because this is the heater. So it blows out, the stuff that's in the vents, which unfortunately is dog hair because I have dogs. And also during the winter, my one dog Daisy, my small little baby, loves to lay in front of the heater, so I'll put like a blanket down for her. So it's both blowing out dog hair and also blowing off her dog hair. So I don't really have anywhere else to put my TBR cart, so it's just gonna have to be something that I live with. But again, they'll be cleaned off before I take them to Blythe. Both of these books, Good Girl, Bad Blood, and A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I think this is book 1 and book 3. I got these books both from Half Price Books because they were so popular again during that 2020 BookTok explosion. But I don't really like YA thrillers. I don't really need to read them. I don't find myself wanting to read them, and I think somebody else would love these way more than I do and probably would read them because they are so popular. So both of these I will be putting in the donate pile. And the next book that I have is also a thriller book, Murder in the Mystery by Kara Hunt. Remember I was telling you that I had a book club of my friends who are in Bestie's Book Club before it was called Bestie's Book Club, this was one of our books. And again, I didn't read it. Apparently we read a lot of thriller. I did not read this one. So this will be one that I am going to be donating. I think if I want to read it, I'll just pick it up from the library. This is a thriller that I probably would pick up in the future, but not enough to keep on my bookshelf. This is a very interesting one because it almost takes you through the book. Like the book, you go through it. It's like you're figuring out the mystery alongside the characters. And I think that's very interesting. I think that's an interesting way to write a thriller book. And it's so possible that's a popular and very common way to write a thriller book, but I don't read a lot of thriller. So to me, that's very interesting and unique. I see this one at my library all the time. So if I ever feel the urge to like pick it up, I will just get it from the library. This one is going to Blythe. And the last book on my TBR cart here is one that I actually was in conversation with the author. The first book is called The Cleaner, and this one is The Mover. This is the second book, and I believe there's going to be a third book. This is like a rom-com thriller murder mystery. It's very interesting. I loved it. I actually devoured book one, so I will be keeping this book. This is one I'm definitely going to read during the summer for just like a very lighthearted, fast-paced book. And huge pro tip is that she is local to me in the Pittsburgh area. So this will be one that I am keeping on my bookshelf, and I might be getting to, I don't know, this year, next year sometime. So the TBR cart is officially empty. Thank God. I'm getting rid of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 books from here, as well as the 3 books that I said I was going to that are part of the Mary Pearson series. 3 up there. So that's, I already forgot how many I just counted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And I think I'm going to go through these books as well that are all on my bookshelf to see if there's any other ones. Just kind of do like a massive unhaul. I know I have a couple books that I have DNF'd before. Master of Poisons is up there. That one was okay. It was just, it's a high fantasy, and I think the writing was just a little bit too lyrical for what I like in a high fantasy. So somebody else might like it way more than I will. So gonna get rid of that one. That's just kind of like the first one on the top of my head, but I need to go through the rest of my books. And I'm doing all of this because eventually I want to take all of the books that are on my white bookshelf and kind of put them up here because I've gotten a lot of books and I want to like fit them in with the rainbow scheme. And it's just kind of time for like a bookshelf reset, you know? So this is step 1, figuring out what books I want to get rid of. Anyways, this was really fun. I'm exhausted. I am going to go and I was going to make matcha, but I think this calls for a coffee. I think I need like full coffee right now. So I will be putting probably my library books all up here, and I'll just be keeping this one plant here. I don't know what I'm going to use this book for yet because I don't really want to use it for a TBR cart full of like unread books because I want all of the books now to be like put together, you know, like with the rainbow shelf and with the fantasy series, all of them together and not have them split up anymore. So I don't know what this will be for, TBD, but it's at least empty for whenever I figure my shit out. And if you're in the Pittsburgh area and any of these books are piquing your interest, maybe stop by Blythe Books to see if they're put out yet. And I believe actually you can order books online from her store. I haven't done that, but I know she ships a lot of orders out. So even if you're not in the Pittsburgh area, maybe check her out. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. I had a lot of fun doing this. Not really because I'm actually exhausted, but it was something that I like needed to do. It was like a book chore that has just been kind of sitting on my list, the back burner, the back of my mind for quite some time. So thank you so much for following along. Make sure to like, subscribe. I have new videos coming out every Saturday or Sunday morning. It just kind of depends if I have one or two. Most times it's Saturday mornings. And I also have a really fun series on my page, Read With Me, where we literally just go to the library and read. It's like 30 minutes of library ASMR. It's very fun. I love doing those. They're all on my page. So make sure to check them out if that's something that you would like. Anyways, live, laugh, love the library, and live, laugh, love you all. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.